Oh,
There you go.
and action. Welcome to Fridays on the Porch with your host, Drkatieoshea, and my special guest, Markel-Crozier.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Anne?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for having me.
In this fabulous place.
This is our porch setup and our porch location at the Center Life and Balance here in Medford, New Jersey, where we focus on holistic health and healing and just bringing us back to ourselves.
Yes.
So tell our viewers a little bit about, well, let me rave about you for a second. So I've known Anne a long time. She has been influential in my career and development as a person, as a physical therapist, as a leader, as a marketer, and I think the world of her.
Thank you.
She is just a wonderful human and soul, and just, well, tell them what you do besides be wonderful.
Thank you, Katie. And I feel the same about you. So I am a social worker. I am the director of elder care coordination with Bratton Law Group. We are an elder law, estate planning, and life care planning law firm. We cover 12 counties in New Jersey and 3 counties in Pennsylvania, and we take care of seniors. We have a very holistic approach to taking care of seniors as they age through the continuum of care, and it's an amazing process. We love to make sure that we are touching every part of their life as they age, and want to make sure that everyone's aging gracefully. And part of that is reaching out to different resources like Katie, and then home cares and assisted livings and hospices, and making sure that everybody is able to utilize different resources, as well as getting Medicaid and estate planning documents, different things like that. And I have a great team that works with me, and we love to do what we do. So Bratton Law Group is the company that I work for.
And they are lucky to have you.
Thank you.
And just a sidebar, we are live, unedited. So sorry about the truck.
Yes,
we don't know what noise
going by.
You will hear, but welcome to our show.
Yes. Lots of trash trucks today.
You never know. Fridays are usually quiet. Not today. Mm-hmm. You might see guests. We'll see what happens. So Bratton is very lucky to have you. And
thank you.
I've known them for a long time also, and they really do a great job of managing the whole person, not just a house or a will or a trust. They look at head to toe from beginning to end of life, truly.
Correct.
And I think that's one of the reasons why you're here and today, and why we're connected. So
yes,
tell me some of the pain points that you see that come up with your clients in staff meetings. Where do people struggle in the healthcare space?
I think a lot of the issues that we run into is, and Chris Bratton, who's the owner of Bratton Law, the one thing he says, hey Chris, the one thing he says is people don't know what they don't know. And I think that that's one thing that I've seen over the years is that, people don't know what to do, whether it be the client or whether it be their children or their grandchildren. So it could be, those pain points could be, I don't know where to go for help. I don't know how to get that help or how to utilize that help, whether it's assisting, whether it's how to utilize Medicare, Medicaid, their life insurance, their long-term care insurance. How do I get to see a specialist? How do I know what my benefits are through my health insurance? Those are things that are definitely hard for people to understand. We will have families that come into us and they'll say, we'll ask them a question, and they'll say, how do I find that out? How do I know if my mom has that type of insurance? Or how do I know if my mom, what accounts my mother has? Because different generations also held things close to the chest.
Right.
So, we didn't share. Right.
Yeah.
A lot of different generations don't share. We also have a lot of, elders that don't have children. And so, and they may not be elders. It could be just anybody that don't have children. So they don't have, kin that are able to care for them, or they don't have that support system. So we become their support system. So then it's literally that needle in a haystack of trying to find out where are their accounts, or where is that
box of receipts comes
correct
in.
Right. And really kind of, figuring out where everything is to help and support them. So those things are difficult. But then also there's a lot of people that are afraid. They're afraid to go to a physician and say, I'm forgetting, or this hurts.
Right.
Or I want to start a new relationship, whether it be I'm a widow and I want to start a new relationship with somebody else, or whatever it may be. And they're afraid and they don't really know how to talk to somebody or who to talk to. So there's I could answer that question in 100 different ways. There are so many different pain points, and what we try to do is have a relationship with our clients and their families or their support systems and help them feel confident, feel secure, and feel supported so that we can kind of dig in to their pain and help them.
So much beyond just
an
estate planning.
Correct.
Right. And it makes sense when you think about the things that we hold on to. And if we're holding on to those stress and fears, sometimes can't let people in to get help.
Right.
Sometimes just spin in a circle and stall ourselves out and don't get any help.
I always say they put their head in the sand.
Oh, I like that. That's a flamingo? Thing. An ostrich?
An ostrich. Ostrich. People will say, yes, I need the help. And then they don't want to take that step forward. So they just put their head in the sand. I'll deal with it tomorrow. There was some old like nursery rhyme or something. I'll handle it. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Or some, I don't know, some old movie.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of people will do. Yes, you're exactly what I need, Katie. You're exactly what I need. This will help me. I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow. It goes on my to-do list that I just rewrite.
And tomorrow is again tomorrow, and then tomorrow, and then tomorrow.
It
never happens.
Nope. And then there's the eat the frog mentality, right? You do the hard thing, the first thing of the day, you eat the frog because no one wants to eat the frog. It's a book. It's not as weird as it sounds right now as I'm listening to myself. You don't actually eat a literal frog.
Oh, right? I don't want to.
But it's the concept of that to-do list that you keep putting off. You take the first thing of the day and you tackle the thing you don't want to do. That's the frog. And you eat the frog and you get it done with. So that way you have the rest of your day to do
the things that are easier,
more enjoyable, high-value ticket items, things of that nature. Yeah. So tell them to eat the frog next time. And just watch their face go, what? Now she's telling me eat a frog. It's a book.
All right, I'm going to have to get that.
I'll get it. I'll give you my copy.
Okay.
And I can't give credit to the author because I don't remember who it is.
Okay. Everyone's going to laugh at me when I say that.
They are.
Yeah.
Just send them back to our podcast.
Okay.
With their source document. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Eating frogs on the porch.
Yeah. I like that.
So where do you find people, what do you find is one of the biggest blocks for people asking for help?
Biggest blocks? I think wanting to actually say they need help. People that fear of, their lack of confidence or saying that they need help. Trust is a big thing. Can I trust you? Specifically for us at the law firm, they feel that lawyers are arrogant, money hungry. They don't see that we're not that way. People don't go into elder law for that reason. You go into elder law because you're compassionate, you care, you want to help somebody. It's a different type of law. And if you ever meet Chris Bratton, which you know him, he is that way. Right.
Absolutely.
He's a doll, as you say, right? He's caring, he's loving, he's compassionate. So I think trust is one of the first things. I think money is another thing. How much is this going to cost me to get this help? That's a big thing. Whether it be a doctor, medication, an attorney, a haircut.
Right.
How much is it going to cost me?
How many times do you think I find money being one of the biggest barriers in both my practice as a holistic practitioner, as well as my own self in life, right? Things I know I should do. Oh, well, it costs money. Let me do something else, right?
Right.
So my question goes back to, how often do you think people put aside doing the estate planning, the elder care needs that they have, and try to find Band-Aids to fix the situation?
Oh, all the time. First of all, people don't understand as well. In New Jersey specifically, we don't have next of kin law. So people think that estate planning documents are just for the old, for people that are older. And it's 18 and up. So if you're 18 and you don't have these documents in place, nobody can make a decision for you if you become incapacitated. So your kid's going to college, anyone, you have to have these documents in place. So people think it's just for seniors, and then people wait too long. And so that's a big thing.
Okay.
A lot of times people will come to us and they'll say, well, can I just do it for free on the internet?
Right.
Of course you can. Absolutely. But those documents may not be able to do what you need them to do. So that Band-Aid may literally be a Band-Aid that falls off.
In a really bad time.
Right. Because our documents are very broad in scope. They can handle anything and everything you may need, from real estate transactions to, making major decisions that you need to have made, where people will come to us and they'll say, here's my power of attorney, but it won't allow your daughter to sell your home for you if you need to sell your home to pay for your care. And people don't understand that. Okay. So those things, I think a lot of people wait too long. Where, think about too, this is maybe a good way to put it. Hopefully you guys can still hear me with all the buses coming by.
We might have to switch to the back porch next time.
I know, like when I get my oil changed in my car,
right,
or like I just got new tires on my car, I drive and I'm like free, and I feel so safe and secure. Like my car is going to be great for years,
right?
Because I took care of it and I'm good to go.
Foundation, right?
It's a great foundation, and you feel secure. I feel secure.
You do.
Doing this, it's like you can put your head on the pillow at night and go to sleep, and you know that no matter what happens, I'm okay. All my ducks are in a row. Everything is going to be handled. Everybody knows what's going to happen if something happens to me.
It gives you that peace of mind.
That peace of mind, that security. It makes you feel, it takes that anxiety off of you.
The stress, the cortisol, all the things
that we know
are so bad for our bodies.
Okay. And it's a burden that you're also taking off of your loved ones.
Do you think people really think about that?
I know that they don't, but I can tell you the stress I see on the families that come in that they don't have it, the stress and the tears. I had a woman that called me yesterday that said she had to take a week off of work, use her vacation time to go down to like City Hall to try to find documents.
Wow.
Before hiring us.
Wow.
Because she thought she had to do all this on her own.
To
use a week of it. Right. Because she didn't know what she didn't know.
Yeah.
And I said, we would have done all that for you.
Right.
That's what we do for you.
Right.
We handle all of that. So it's that kind of burden and stress. Her mom was in the hospital and her mom needed all these. So those are the types of things where I just think it's that burden and that stress that you take off of your loved ones.
That makes sense. When people are going through these high stress, traumatic, unplanned life events, or planned sometimes, right? There are the percentage of the people that are planners, and good job, guys.
Yes.
But do you find people take away from their own health and healing and stress management when they're in the throes of the chaos?
It takes away from it?
Like, do you find people stop taking care of themselves when
100%.
they're in this? So people who might go to the gym, get massages, get Reiki, right? Get things of that nature to work on their own self when they're in these chaotic moments. Do they?
So I am a huge advocate for self-care, specifically more now that I've done my own self-care with you and started my own journey of self-care. I see so many people that give up on their own because they're caregivers or because they can't, because they're taking care of others through this journey. I mean, my mother was a caregiver for my father for 12 years who had dementia. Yeah. And I remember saying, you have to have somebody come take care of him so you can get your hair done or go to the doctor yourself or, remember who you are. Right. I have another client who I just hired somebody one day a week just so that he can just go to the bathroom by himself.
It's those little things.
Right.
Those little mindful moments.
Right. You don't have that capability all the time. Yeah. So I 100% feel that people neglect themselves or are unable to care for themselves because of that. Those things. When do they go to the doctor? Right.
They can't even make the same appointment when they're taking their loved one, right? Correct. It really is. You become the second burner. Right. And your life revolves around that person.
And it's children, it's spouses, it's grandchildren, it's all of that.
Right. It's not the traditional aging up that I think we expect and I always associated or anticipated. you see that generational. It's not a sandwich. It's not the ascending or descending. It's all over. Life
All
happens
over.
at all ages.
Correct.
Now, do you think our healthcare system supports caregivers?
I think no. I think there's opportunity to do it, but I don't think that there's enough. I don't think it's definitely, I don't think that there's benefits to pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough knowledge. I think that there's plenty out there.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that people know what's out there, but I also think that there's stigma attached to some of it. And I don't think that the support that's there, you know, so if I go to a caregiver support group, who's watching the person that I'm caring for?
Right.
There are some out there that you can bring the loved one with you, but what if I can't get that loved one to come with me?
Right.
What if they can't get in a car?
Physically, right?
Right.
They're
So
having a
those
bad
types
day.
of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, are we checking on those caregivers? If there isn't a me or a you that's involved, how are they being monitored and cared for and watched and checked on?
Yeah. That's what I always wondered about. And being in the healthcare system, in the hospital based, you see those revolving door clients that just in and out and using the hospital for management of those conditions. And you see that loved one just becoming exhausted and empty as they go through that life cycle of that disease process.
Yeah.
And no one, very rarely does anyone say, how are you doing? Not even what supports can I give you? Just how are you?
We say all the time to our caregivers, what happens when something happens to you? What happens to your loved one if you die or if you burn out or if you, all of those things. And that's that kind of moment where they say, well, that's not going to happen to me.
Right.
But we see it happen where that caregiver drops dead of a heart attack or a stroke or whatever.
Right.
And then there's the loved one without anyone.
Yeah. And then it's a whole bigger mess.
Right.
Routine's gone. Any sense of
it's all
establishment over. Wow. How do you think holistic practices, massage, Reiki, yoga, acupuncture, can help support people in these times of stress and unknown and chaos? Do you think there's a space for it?
I definitely think there's a space for it. I think that there is not enough knowledge, not enough support. I don't think that, I think there's a stigma.
Definitely.
I really didn't understand Reiki. I had heard about it for years being in the healthcare field.
Same.
I thought it was, going like this, raking someone's skin. I truly didn't know what it was. I'd heard about it a lot through hospice because I knew it was something that was provided through hospice services for people that were dying or their families, to help with grief and fear and pain and anxiety, whatever. But I didn't really know what it was. And until you and I talked about it and you told me what you were doing and I came and had a session with you, that I really grasped it and understood it and started, praising it, talking about it, telling more people that they should do it. Because I think that in acupuncture, I've talked with a lot of people about doing that for different reasons. Massage, I've always been a fan of. But I just think that if people understood the benefits and understood that it can go hand in hand with Western medicine, it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Sure doesn't. Not supposed to be.
And to understand give it a try. It can't hurt you.
Truly can't.
And just the energy of it. I definitely think there's a space for it. And I wish more people would give it a try.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
It's always fascinating when you see, I love all my clients, but I really love the clients who are like, this isn't going to work. Probably because I was that person.
Right.
I remember my first Reiki session and I was like, okay, this is nothing. Right. And I walked out of there going, oh my gosh, what am I missing? Right.
Right.
And I think those are my favorite people because you just see you watch their body relax. You
Yeah.
watch them fall into this space. You see people who tell you they can't sleep more than 10 minutes, sleep for 45 minutes on your table.
Yeah.
It's just such an immediate way to reground ourselves and reconnect with ourselves that it's really beautiful.
Yeah, and I think too that if you can help people understand that you're not doing, it's not voodoo magic.
Yeah.
It's not it's not something, it's not witchcraft,
Sure isn't. Nope.
It's not, and that's what I think that people don't understand. It's energy, it's healing, it's all the benefits that you can get from it. And what I took from it too, and my kids have also come to Katie and have seen such benefits from it. Just so everybody knows, I didn't make them. They were excited to know that I came and were like, I want to go.
They found me from your Facebook
My
post.
Facebook post. They were like, you went? I want to go. So I think that once you kind of, it continues. It's not something that's like, you have your session and then it's over. You continue to feel the benefits, and it's like you can't wait to keep feeling those benefits, and you look forward to the next time you can do them. And I just, it's completely started a whole new world of me with self-love, self-healing, health. My health has completely changed. I mean, I wish I could get more people to jump on board and come.
You're the best.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And I would love to have more of my seniors come, or my patients and clients participate. And I think eventually I can get them to, but I also love the fact that you'll do it virtually if they don't want to physically come or can't physically come.
Yep. Virtual is a way that Reiki is delivered, and it was weird to me when I first started because I am a PT by background. I like to touch people. But I have clients all over the United States, and it's the wildest thing to me.
And they still receive the benefits.
Still receive the benefits, and sometimes even more so because they're in their home environment.
Right.
And they really can truly shut off. It's not, oh, I have to get in my car to drive home or drive here, or whatever it is after my session. They literally can just be. And which
is really nice.
Really nice.
Even though your space here is amazing.
Thank you. I do
really
love my
is.
Space.
It's a comfortable, safe, warm space.
But it's a nice adjunct for people who can't get in the car. We do have ADA access here. We have a ramp in first floor, but it is hard sometimes, right? You might have pain. You might have different nausea, fatigue, all kinds of things that just limit you from coming out of the house, fear. And so Reiki doesn't have to be on site, which is nice. You said something about Reiki stays with you. And I like to call that the glimmers.
The glimmers?
The glimmers, right? So it's like this little whoop of the new life you're looking for, right? Because we didn't get to where we are overnight, and we're not going to get to where we want to be overnight either, right? It's compounding effects of change and consistency. And those moments where you can reconnect with yourself, I call them the glimmers, where it's
love that.
Oh, I feel connected to me. Oh, I feel focused in on my own self-love. No, I'm going to make this decision for me, not based off of what I think the external factors want me to make that. And it's those little glimmers that kind of help us find our little path that we get back to. And that's what I think about with Reiki and all the alternative practices. It just gives you a way to reconnect and to have those positive moments of glimmers in between the day-to-day and the chaos and all the things that kind of hold us back sometimes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite moment besides the glimmers? What's your favorite moment that you've experienced with Reiki?
As a receiver or as a giver?
Either.
Oh, my favorite moment. I think as a receiver, my favorite moment would have been when I felt so connected to myself in a way that nothing else had done for me.
Wow.
No, and I'm a big proponent and advocate of mental health and counseling, and I had been on my own healing journey. And kind of had stalled out, to be honest with you. Was in a good spot, but knew I wasn't where I wanted to be, but didn't know how to get to the next place. And when I just had that Reiki session, everything just kind of lined up for me. And it was so interesting just to feel the warmth, the peace, and love. I think love that I never felt before.
Really?
Yeah. And it was just, I don't know, it was just a moment of happiness, joy, and just real contentment. And that, I think, for me was one of my favorite moments as a receiver.
Wow.
As a practitioner, I love being able to see and help people. I am a healer. I have been since I was a child. Whether I accept it or knew, I don't know. But I accept it now. And the police are here. Hey, guys.
Yeah. We're getting arrested.
You never know who's going to come on the podcast.
Right. Okay, he's leaving.
He's leaving. It's all just coffee in the mug.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I think so. Yeah. You might be back. But as a practitioner, it's seeing people be able to relax and reconnect to themselves, and seeing people get up off of a table and be like, oh my gosh, my brain was still for the first time.
Yeah.
Right. And I, as somebody who has anxiety, somebody who knows people with anxiety, right, that's one of those conditions that your brain just goes and goes and goes. The hamster never takes a vacation.
Right.
And just be able to see these people just stop and shut off and fall asleep and wake up and be able to say, I think of nothing right now. I think that's just one of the most beautiful things in the world.
Yeah.
That you just are able to be still. In my clinical practice, I do use Reiki when patients at bedside do want that involved in their therapy session. And it's so interesting to me to see people who are able just to relax and step out of that patient and that sick mindset. And they let themselves reconnect to themselves, because our body has the natural ability to heal.
Yes.
Right. And when you support that with medication in the Western system, it really can do some cool things. I think of a patient I just had recently, cancer, and then had a stroke on top of that, and was really sick. They were talking hospice, started to get some function back. And I knew she was my people because I walked in and they had a grounding mat on their pillow. And I was like, you guys aren't from around here. Right. You're wonderful. And looking at her, I know it's not me as a clinician. I know there are clinicians far smarter than me, far more talented than me. But I knew in that moment, we just had Reiki on in our session, doing our activities and our thorax. And she started to get movement in her right leg that she hadn't gotten in weeks. And now stroke, that's also how we receive recovery and all those things, right? So for the naysayers out there, absolutely. But it didn't matter, because in that moment, that meant something to her. That meant something to her family, her children, and it got her into a higher level of care versus just going to a nursing home to die. Right. And I think it's those little moments where you find a way to integrate it and weave it in, and it's genuine, that it's just beautiful. It's little glimmers, right? Because in your day, that was 35 minutes of my day, 40 minutes. It was a beautiful 40 minutes. And then I probably got yelled at or something thrown at me the next 40 minutes. Right. But it is. It's those little glimmers. But
that's something that you're going to carry with you forever.
Forever, right? And I know it made an impact to that person too. So those are my happy places. Yes, very much so. So yeah.
Wow.
So that's
really cool.
It is really cool stuff. It's neat. It's neat to see where, when you open yourself up and let life take you where you're supposed to be, where it just ends up taking you, and you find the balance, you find the way.
I mean, I can tell you that I came for my Reiki session for you.
Yeah.
And I'm hooked.
I know. Didn't even try.
Yeah.
Just showed up.
Right? I did it for you.
Yeah.
And I am one of those people that doesn't sleep, and doesn't turn my brain off, and doesn't rest, and doesn't relax.
I did kind of know that.
Yeah. And I mean, I sleep very well now, and I'm relaxing, and I'm taking time for me and for my husband, and but
I remember that text you sent me. You're like, I was going to text you, but you told me not to.
You did. You did. So you're like, stay off social media, stay off your phone. And I was like, what? I live on that. And I did. I was like, I'm going to get in trouble if I text her.
She did.
She said, stay off my phone. She said, go put your feet in the grass.
3 days. You're like, guess what? It's literally 72 hours to the minute.
Right. I know. Because I was out walking and on my bike and doing all outside stuff. And
look at that. I'm so proud of you.
And then
you
I
should
was
be proud of you.
Yeah, and I was
you're
like,
doing the
okay,
work.
I think it's been time. I can now text
You
her.
can, but
I was afraid.
you're so cute. I love you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So speaking of contacting, how do people contact you,
Oh.
Bratton Law?
So you can contact us. Our website is www.brattonlawgroup.com. If you'd like to go to our website or contact us there, our phone number is 856-857-6007. Or you can contact me on my cell phone anytime, which is 856-304-7074. We are happy to help you. We have consultations. We have offices all over New Jersey. We also can do Zoom consults. And if you say that you saw me here or through Katie O'Shea, Dr. Katie O'Shea, you get a half price consultation to see any of our attorneys or myself. And how do people contact you, Katie O'Shea?
Oh, you're so cute. All my information as well as yours will be listed in our information below. But the easiest way is to my website, www.dr. Let's try that again.
Dr. Dot.
Dr. Dot. Oh, that's a cute website.
Yeah, Dr. Dot.
www.drkatieoshea.com. Well, Anne, thank you so much
for
having
being
here
me.
for my first
the best.
coffee on the porch.
Love
Our
you.
mugs didn't come in time, but we went with our brand colors.
Next time we'll have mugs.
Next time. I think we're going to switch to the back porch because honestly, we have no idea how this sounds.
Yeah, you may not have heard anything we said.
But we hope you did. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Still going. Still going.
Want me to get up and turn it off?